The forest. I do very much remember this setting last time. With the hooded character. I do like the very subtle, like, little bit of, like, light that's emanating from her. Like, I know that's, like, a pretty, like, common thing to do in games, but I'm just putting it out there that I like it when they do that. I'm soaked already. In a night like this, there won't be anyone... Oh my god, the coughs, they're coming back. In a night like this, there won't be anyone out of their doors, at least. Very subtle green screen. Don't mind me. Got a fourth wall break, okay. In a night like this, there won't be anyone out of their doors, at least. But still. I should hurry up and not catch a cold out here. That's what happened to me! I caught a cold. Hold up or X to run. Whoop. No? It's probably more like the console. Okay, well, let me see if I can get this to go to options. Whoops, nope, that's not the options. I feel really goofy at the moment. Something there was run. Stop doing that. Stop doing what? Oh, what, green screen stuff? Potion. I want it. Noting that there are apparently console keys there, that was actually something I wasn't certain if they were going to be in or not. I could actually try plugging in my controller too, because that might make this a little bit nicer. Alright. I actually had it plugged in from the other day too, so just gotta get the wire here. No. Apparently the wire isn't here at the moment. I'm having a bunch of goofy slip-ups here. My sincere apologies. Okay. I am going to grab the wire. Okay, never mind then. I'll wait until Ryan returns for that because the wire's not over here. I'm sure he knows where it is. Select an action per turn and defeat your enemies. Velven. Oh, the graphics look nicer than last time. I kind of remember them looking a little bit different, so this is cool. Having very recently played Final Fantasy VII 2, I can say I'm like, aha, now I'm feeling like I'm masterful at this style of RPG where you're like selecting each of the little enemies and everything. Which is very surprising that I hadn't actually tried Final Fantasy VII prior to when it first came out. And Ryan's been showing me the way. How is your playthrough of the entire Final Fantasy VII line going? Honestly, really good. I've been quite enjoying that. I think Ryan told me I'm like about a third through the game now. First game, specifically. Because admittedly, I've been a little dinosaur distracted because of Ark. I've been very much in love with that game as of lately. There's too many good games. What can I say? Press Z or X to continue. Cool. Oh, you're only on actual Final Fantasy VII, haven't crossed into the realm of all the other ones. Not yet. Eventually. Probably like in the later half of this month / December and stuff. We were very sick. And I was obsessed with dinosaurs. A mandrake. I must say, the last time that we also played this game, it was like, it felt very apparent that it was like an RPG Maker game, but now the seam is a lot less obvious and it feels very much like its own thing. I don't know how to exactly explain it, but it feels very much like it has its own flavor compared to the last time I played this game. It feels smoother, which is really nice. Even the animations too are a lot smoother. Rare nut. I like the fox. I always love the fuzzy critters. It's still very RPG Maker, just a bit less obvious. I mean, when you have an RPG Maker game, like, I'd like to describe it like this. As someone who also uses Photoshop a lot, and like other applications like Clip Studio and Krita, like, there's like certain brushes that feel, oh, that was so totally Photoshop. That was so totally this program. That's just a brush stamp from this program. So there's gonna be like a very like distinct flavor to like certain like default assets, and then there's still going to be like, even when you go through like customization and stuff like that, you can make it feel a lot less like, oh, it's just the general like, you know, default settings and stuff, and then it leans closer to, oh, this is your own flavor, but you can still kind of tell it was made in said program. I'm sometimes like that when I'm like looking at stuff made in like Adobe well, Flash Animate now, Adobe Animate, or like AI art too. I can sometimes kind of tell if it was made in like a certain AI art program. There's like just very like particular aesthetics that are of one or another, if that makes sense. I'm getting Little Red Riding Hood vibes. Oh, I'm certain that was definitely an inspiration for the character. If nothing else, it has like a very cute, like, magey kind of vibe to it. But I will say the controls are very smooth. I greatly appreciate that. Like, sometimes you could go on and make a game and it is very difficult sometimes to make things not clunky. And this is definitely not clunky. It's one of those things where it's like, you just gotta feel it. Nothing like a good grind. That's right. Gotta cheer. Okay. Guard. Gotta break that guard. What do we have over here? There's also something really nice about 2D RPG art that's also really nice. I think that's like a thing that I really appreciate with like a lot of indie games, is that there's like a lot of like 2D art. Not that I don't appreciate 3D art, because I still appreciate 3D art too. Otherwise I wouldn't be playing so many video games or appreciate them and stuff, but it's nice seeing that there's still like such a diverse like variety in art styles, and especially when it comes to like stylized stuff. Ah, experience. Leaving work early feels wonderful tonight. Oh, I imagine. I imagine that must feel excellent. Aha. Got this good bridge. Clog. That's how I felt a couple of weeks ago when I had my cold. She's already starting to get that cold. I've been hanging out in this rain too long. She's getting clogged. It was terrible. Getting like all ingested sinus nonsense. The worst part too is the guy that inflicted the clog on me is the guy that also looks like he could be the type of spirit that could give you a cold. As in, he looks like that of like a rain spirit or something that may have, let's just say, induced your nose. Without getting too, explicit with the details. He's a little slime guy. Jelly man. Ah, I see that fire over there. She wants that so she can stay warm and not feel cold. Your mind scares me. I think your mind scares me because I wasn't even going for anything particularly. It's more like I just don't want to go into like details about like how disgusting it is, you know, being that it's like, you know, when you have a cold, you know, you get all runny in the nose and stuff. I mean, I can remember some people that I met back in the day that straight up hated the word snot. They're like, ew, snot, ugh, that's a terrible word. It's like that kind of thing, really. Just remember, back in like the 90s and stuff, if you said like certain words and they'd be like, oh, I can't believe you would say such things. That's such a crude word. Even if it wasn't actually crude. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. You could go on and on and on with all kinds of words, and it could like trigger somebody who hates said words. Look at that. Fight the powerful enemy. You can't escape from this battle. Oh, just in time. You came for apparently my first big fight. Yeah. Do you like these shoes right here? By the way, apparently there's I'm getting the vibe that you can use controller controls. I don't know where the wire is, though. Oh, thank you. You have brightened my day. Yes. But yes, I don't know where my controller wire is. So if you could be a kind sir, and perhaps acquire said wire, that would be greatly appreciated.
Wire.
Yeah, acquire the wire. Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. I'm fairly certain that it's like Xbox control layout. Almost positive. Let's see. It also may not work after having already started the game.
May have to restart the game, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, for now, I'll just continue with this keyboard shortcut stuff.
Alright.
Okay. Check that out.
There it is. This looks familiar.
Yeah. It looks more polished.
Yeah.
Something that I was noting.
I definitely remember when we originally were playing this. Yeah.
Green screen.
I
There we
remember
go.
the last time we were playing this. Yeah, it was basically just a bunch of big, not so much open, but big areas where you just got to grind against monsters and test out like how the characters worked.
That's right.
And that was cool because I was actually pretty impressed with how well balanced and like interesting each of the characters were. But now, to my understanding, it has story. I think
Yes.
it even has like voice acting or something too.
I don't know. I haven't
I
heard
was
any
reading
just
something
yet.
about that. But moist damp.
Oh. Well, that's because she was talking about how she didn't want to get a cold out in the rain, and there was like this slime monster, and I was talking about how I felt like how I felt that the monster had acquired my nose, and how I had met some people in the past who hated certain like cold-related words, like snot.
I say.
So Ghost is just listing other words.
Ah, okay. I like the little potato icon.
You like the potato?
Yeah.
No spells yet, just my claws.
Just your claws.
That's it.
Yeah, her whole thing where she gets to double attack, right, when she attacks.
Yeah, that's it. All about that critical strike.
Is that its HP above its head?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. See? No skills yet.
Oh no.
That's right.
Is this just a random encounter or is it the boss?
No, this is a boss.
Okay. I feel like we weren't ready for this boss.
I mean, I just happened upon them. I do have a potion, so I could use that
Okay.
when
well,
necessary.
let's see where it takes us, I suppose.
Yeah, it's the Mandrake Queen.
Yes, I was reading too that they're technically in early access still.
Yes, it actually did say that when I opened up the game.
Yeah, it's. I think he was describing it as like version 0.9, where he's
Yes.
like technically done, but still wants
Just
to
like
make
maybe some like
improvements.
minor
and,
cleanup stuff.
Yeah. So like it's technically the finished game.
That's, you know what? That's honestly something that I really like about modern games in comparison to old games, because there's always like, you know, this debate like, oh, old games, new games, you know, one is better than the other, and I don't think it's 100% true in either capacity, but I will say that one thing I do appreciate with modern games is that you can patch them if there's something wrong. That is
yeah.
something that old games did not have.
Oh, so I'm just noticing now that you have like a little bit of a life absorb on your attack. So
Yes.
that's also
helps.
helping. Oh no, she does it too? Oh jeez.
Look, the HP is making progress,
It is
though.
making progress, but wow, this fight's gonna be a crawl.
Yeah, like I probably could have grinded a little bit before here, but it's okay. I'm not a fan of on-disc DLC. Oh, what, you mean like if it's like locked like technically already there, but just not accessible upon launch, that kind of thing. I mean, one could argue that a lot of DLC works that way anyway, because it's like kind of, you know, planned in advance that certain things could happen, but then sometimes there's also the type of DLC that could legitimately be added on later.
DLC doesn't work the way... Basically, the issue that occurred is the gaming community had in their head the idea of how DLC was going to work when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it ended up not being what they expected. Because, you know, gamers wanted DLC to be an opportunity for developers later to decide, hey, I want to go back and I want to add stuff to this game.
Yeah.
And that's not what happened. Is developers, more so I suppose the corporate offices for these games, came to the realization that DLC is a brilliant marketing tool that they could use.
Right.
And a way for them to capitalize on games they've already sold. So instead, they decided, all right, we're going to plan out our profits for these games ahead of time, and we're going to decide beforehand what we're going to sell as extras to this game. And obviously that upset players because they wanted it to be something that wasn't planned, just like stuff developers later would just give to them.
Right. I mean, you know, things change as time goes on.
Yep.
I will
Also,
say... go ahead.
Something else that I think a lot of gamers don't really understand is the reason why games haven't gotten exorbitantly more expensive over time is because of DLC.
Yeah, like development for extra.
Well,
in a
yeah,
sense.
because the base price for games, I mean, it only recently jumped to 70, but for the past however many generations, like $60 was the standard new game price.
Yeah, I remember that.
And honestly, the only reason it was able to stay that cheap for so long was because of DLC.
Right. Honestly, I don't mind DLC because, like, you know, even having that full awareness of, like, yeah, they're technically there, just, you know, something that's behind closed doors at the moment. And honestly, it also gives, like, an opportunity for the game company to try to polish things up before it inevitably, like, releases too.
Well, it's a little different than, I mean, you could be nitpicky, I suppose, about what DLC truly is, but, like, that's technically more like patching when they're fixing bugs.
Yeah.
DLC's normally not that. Like, when you're referring to DLC, you're specifically referring to the
There's brand
player
new content.
buys specific content
Yeah.
to expand their game.
Yeah.
Granted, sometimes devs do use just straight up patches to expand their games.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when they're in the early access phase.
Right.
But more often than not, DLC is strictly content updates
Yes.
for money.
I'm going to say I may have, like, I mean, like, I was just kind of, like, following, like, the map and, like, what it was, like, showing me and stuff like that, but as far as, like, this particular, like, boss fight that we're in right now, is, like, unless I missed something along the way.
You were supposed to have skills or something up to this.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you could see if there's something I missed.
Oh,
I'll show you.
we'll see. I noticed you have this full CP bar. Are you supposed to have, like, a limit break or something? I think I remember something like that.
I don't think I unlocked it yet,
Or
personally.
maybe the CP is just what you spend for skills.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see I don't have anything yet. I'm fairly certain that that comes out a little bit later in the game. But yeah, unless I actually missed something,
Does that
then
guard effect last more than just one turn?
I think so.
Ah.
Or it can. I was gonna say, it's a little grindy, of course.
Yeah, that was the point. I remember
Yeah.
it being that way. Got nuts.
But
Oh, is this your first level up?
yeah.
I say. You learned to leap.
Yeah, there we go.